buy humanity?
If I remember right, you can.
I don't think so. I don't see it on the cost table.
Oh, then I might have it wrong. Let me see if it talks about raising humanity then.
Even though there's not rules for it, I think it's fine if you buy humanity, but I would say you can only buy 1 or 2 points.
At a time or?
Like, period.
Oh, okay. Well, can't reach 8 that way.
Shouldn't you be at 6 at this point?
Humanity? No, you start at 4.
No, you start at 7, Devil.
Oh,
And then it
okay.
drops to 6 for the generation you're at. So that should be just enough for you to buy to 8.
Alright, so how much do they cost?
I'm trying to figure out a cost right now, because there isn't actually one, so I'm thinking here.
Could do the cost of what blood potency is.
I'm gonna say 6 points a dot. It's not going to be like how a lot of this experience is, where it's like new level times whatever, because it goes all the way up to 10, so that gets extremely expensive. This is only available at character creation, though. After that, I'm gonna look through the book because I feel like there's got to be ways to raise your humanity, but I would say after that, it would have to be through like through roleplay that you would increase it.
That would make sense.
But now that we
12.
have But now that we have that clarified, I'll do the official intro. Welcome, we are the Storyspeakers Guild, bringing you roleplay entertainment. Like we told you, there would be a surprise stream tonight since we do not have all of our D&D players. And as part of that surprise, I will not be your storyteller tonight. I now introduce you to our storyteller. Go ahead, whatever you want to be called by.
I'm Laura. And I'm gonna be running Vampire with the latest edition, 5th edition. So, guys, are you excited? Are you ready? Or
I'm
do you have
ready to
any
go.
questions?
Oh yeah. We should probably introduce our characters, though.
I should probably pick a name.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have you go last. We'll let some people start. I I'd like you to give your name, your clan, unless you have a reason you'd really like to keep it secret. And then give just a high-level description of yourself. We don't have to go into every detail, but just a little one-liner about who you are.
I play Rick Williams. He is a gangrel. He has an animal companion that travels with him. He, I wouldn't say ratty clothes, but old and dirty, and he's got them kind of reinforced with padding and some metal in places to kind of keep him protected. He's kind of out in the wilderness or out in the gutter mostly, so he's got to keep protected. He wears shades to cover his eyes, which are not human looking anymore due to a past frenzy. And I'm gonna stop there.
I am Father Torin. I'm a Jesuit priest, or was a Jesuit priest at the time of my embrace. I am very precise in appearance. I am plain clothes, but I wear a collar. I am Clan La Sombra, one of those trying to curry favor with the Camarilla. I look about 30 years old. I have an athletic build.
All right. So Finn DM here is Joseph Audie. I am, or Audley. That's how I say it, right? Yeah. Sorry, Audley. I am Clan Bruja. My character in life before he was embraced was a therapist who went to teach in India where he was embraced. There he spent a long time with Clan Ravno and witnessed the Week of Nightmares. After that, he had a falling out with his sire and returned to Chicago, where he was originally from. He standardly wears black jeans and polo shirts. With a pair of nice-looking steel-toed boots. Brown hair, well-kept, combed, and a beard goatee combo type deal, or a mustache goatee combo. I forget what those are called.
The Van Dyke.
Sure, we'll call it that. And I have been looking into some problems for the Camarilla.
I also have a character in this game, but I'm probably not going to be playing her tonight, so I will not introduce her at this point.
That leaves you, Devil in Need.
Have you figured out a name?
Yes, my character is named Jessica Time, spelled with a Y. And yeah, she's Malkavian, and she dresses in kind of pretty clothing, dress, shirt, skirts, that sort of stuff, and tank tops. But she has a large scarf, no matter what the weather is.
I want to be Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yes,
Yep.
mistress.
I am.
Okay. So, our setting is Chicago at night. It's not too cold, especially given the week that we've just had. But it's not warm either. It's sloppy, it's messy. But, you know, it could be worse. The weather could be a lot worse. Rick and Father Torin, you both wake up and find like a clean but elegant letter left for you. Looks very professional.
Interesting. I look at the letter, wondering how that person snuck up on me, and I take a look at it.
Are you also taking a look at it, Cappy?
Oh, yes. I heard two names and I must have missed mine. I'm sorry. I heard the rest, though. Yep, I examined the letter. Huh. Not sure how somebody got in here stealthily like that, but somebody's good.
Well, it's like slipped under your door,
Ah,
essentially. Yeah, like nobody broke into your room. It was slipped under your door.
actually, my
Or if
character
you
really
have like a
has a
door.
haven. He just kind of out there. I don't know if I gave my
Nonetheless, you
haven
were
or not.
found.
Yeah.
As you open the letter and look at it, you see from the letterhead that this comes from James Garrett. You guys are both familiar with him. He is kind of an up-and-coming big shot in the Camarilla. He's a caitiff, so he doesn't have a clan that he belongs to. But he works very closely with somebody on the Primogen Council, Sun, the Primogen of the Malkavians. So, since he has that influence, if he's asking you for something, it's the type of person that you'd be inclined to at least go have a conversation with. So as you read over the letter, it's very brief. I need you to assist a Camarilla effort. Please make your way to Elysium tonight. I will be waiting for you there. And it's signed James Garrett.
Looks like I've got somewhere to be tonight. Glance over at my coyote friend. Ready for some new scenery, my friend?
So,
The,
go ahead, Cappy.
nah, I was going to say he barks in response, or yips in response, whichever.
So, given the place of or the establishment we're going to, I'm going to remove the piece of white collar and secret my necklace underneath my T-shirt so that I don't look like a priest.
That would probably be helpful to you. Devil, I also sent you a message in chat. You, all four of you also need to do rouse checks at some point, shortly here.
All right.
What is
Just
that?
let us know when you want them.
Is that button that just says rouse?
Yeah. Torin, how'd you roll a 0?
I hit the rouse button.
That shouldn't be possible.
Okay, maybe I didn't. It rolled one dice and I rolled a 1, apparently. But I don't like them up 0.
Worked on my end.
Oh no, it shows how many successes you get. That's what it's showing. You got 0 successes is what it means.
Oh, so they're both hungry then.
Nom nom.
So that means both of you increase your hunger to 2 now.
Oh, that's lovely. fell out of the gate. Ah, that's wonderful.
Devil, you also need to make a rouse check.
What? A check?
Rouse, it's on your character sheet. Just click the button.
Okay. Looking for it now.
I forget. Would a 1 on a rouse check be a bestial? I don't think there is a bestial failure for your rouse check, actually. It's just a failure, yeah? Okay. He's nodding. I know you guys can't see that, but he's nodding to agree with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like all of you failed?
I mean, I rolled a 1, so I don't know if that's. I
Joseph
don't know how
succeeded.
rouse works, so.
I'm going to make a note to eat something tonight.
So,
Yeah.
Devil, rouse is basically you don't spin blood now, you instead rouse blood. So basically, right now you're rousing blood to wake up.
Okay.
If you don't
Go ahead.
if you don't succeed at it though, you get hungry.
And that's why we increased our dot by 1.
Exactly. So all of you should have increased your hunger pool by 1. If you haven't done that already, please do it now. But you're up for the night. It works. So, do you guys need to do anything? Are you heading straight to Elysium? What's your plan?
Me and Scraggles, that's the what I said, and my coyote are just going to Elysium.
I plan to follow my nose.
What time
Yeah,
of
that sounds
evening
about
is it?
right.
There are generally markers that you know how to find to indicate where Elysium is, because it can switch locations, so that they can protect themselves a little bit more. So you guys would know, how to look for the right markers. So you would know the possible locations. So you would know, as you get closer to the city, or if you're already in the city, as you get closer to the area where Elysium typically is, that it is at the Succubus Club tonight.
What time of evening is it?
It's early in the night. You've essentially just woken up. You woke up to find that letter. So unless you choose to do something before you head to Elysium, I'd say you're probably getting to Elysium around like 8 or 9 o'clock.
So too soon to be sneaking into people's bedrooms to feed my hunger. Okay.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't try doing it right now.
I will go straight to the club then. Taking the precautions on my appearance, like I said, though.
Besides, we just said too, you're hungry, but you're not hungry enough to really have to feed it right now. You can kind of still manage it.
I forgot about you, Joseph. You also received a letter that was James Garrett asking you to go to Elysium. Yours is not as friendly.
Oh, looks like he's pissed. Whatever, I don't trust him anyways. I should get some protection before I go, though. Before leaving, I'm gonna go find a dog.
I'd like to remind you that it's in a club and you're probably not going to be able to bring your animals in.
It's gonna be a small dog.
I can just have them hide outside somewhere.
That's gonna be a small dog that I can fit in a purse.
Then you have to walk into Elysium with a purse.
I'm totally gonna walk into Elysium with a purse.
Yes!
Okay.
Okay. I'll be playing a woman.
I'm not. I'm just gonna
Okay.
have a purse. What do I care?
He's
It's a social
He's a
experiment.
drag queen.
It's the new trend.
Apparently.
So, can you describe outside of the club what kind of environment it is? A lot of people, that kind of.
It's a pretty popular club. So yeah, I mean, there's people around. It's in the downtown area, so especially because it's not that late, it's not that cold. There's a lot of people out and about. It's a busy area. It's one of the more vibrant, like hip sections of the city.
Okay, given our nature, anything of threat?
No, Elysium's there, so I mean it's a safe haven for vampires. Well, Camarilla and maybe some anarchs.
I would be interested, just if I happen to notice people taking an obvious interest in who's coming and going from the.
I was just gonna say someone may want to explain Elysium to Torn.
Elysium is kind of like a big meeting for all the Camarilla vampires. You're not necessarily you have to go every time Elysium is held. But a lot of people go pretty frequently to network, or if they've been kind of assigned to do something, or um, they're looking for assistance with something. They need somebody who's in charge to help them. They might go to Elysium to look for help. So it's a safe space kind of for vampires, because everybody agrees, that there's no violence. You're not walking in there with weapons. You're not walking in with the intent to kill or to cause trouble. You're just there so that people can get shit done. They can talk to each other. They can hang out with other people of their clan, like whatever it is they're trying to do, but nobody's in there ruining the safety and the, I guess, peace of it.
So we're not allowed to have weapons in there, or just not to use them.
You are not allowed to have them in there. And there is somebody who is checking.
So can we check our weapons at the entrance?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It's up to you. Some people leave them at home. Some, they'll just check them at the door. You just want to make sure that you are transparent about having them, so that it is not mistaken for you trying to sneak them in, or that you're trying to cause some sort of issues.
Sure. Okay. All right. So when I get to the Elysium, I openly check my 9mm. I safe it and everything and check it in.
The bouncer gives you kind of a small smile. Nothing friendly, just yeah, all right, good. You followed the rules. Gives you a quick pat down, and turns to you. You know where you're going?
Out of character, do I know who James Garrett is?
Yes, you have met him before, kind of in passing. Somebody was walking by, and somebody was like, come over here, meet Father Torin, right? But you're not on a personal level with him.
I believe I do, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, stay out of trouble.
Indeed. And I step in and I peruse the area looking for him.
So there is an area where humans are allowed to go, and this is kind of the main club area. Vampires obviously can go there too, but they can't reveal their nature here. There is a secret area to the back and in the basement where only vampires can go. There would be another someone at the door to make sure that somebody doesn't drunkenly stumble in there. But since you are not a brand new vampire, you're somebody that's known to them. So it's up to you if you'd like to stay in the area where all the humans are dancing and partying, and vampires are obviously doing the same, possibly hunting even, but discreetly. Or you can proceed to where officially Elysium is held, which would be the vampire only area.
I want to move through the human area with not like a sense of urgency. Kind of, I want to be there and make it look like I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere, but I'm going to make my way to the sea.
Okay, so you're strolling over. Gotcha. You can assume that you make your way over there, no issues. That you don't really have to worry about anything from here.
Yep.
Cappy,
Uh,
are you arriving without weapons, or are you checking anything?
I would check him at the door. Also, if you give me a look regarding Scraggles, I'd have Scraggles kind of wait outside somewhere, or by the guard if the guard doesn't mind having him sitting by him.
Indeed, as you approach with the coyote, he frowns. No, that thing ain't coming in.
Nope, that's fine. Mind if he sits next to you, keep you company?
Does it bite?
Nope. If I tell him to behave and make sure nobody enters not supposed to, that's what he'll do. If I tell him to listen to you, he'll listen to you till I get back.
All right, but if it bites somebody, I'm chasing it off or doing whatever I have to.
That's understandable. I look at Scraggles, and I tell him, and I punch to the guard. Listen to the guard, do what he says, and behave yourself.
I want to know how you're doing this.
Yeah, are you speaking to him in English, or are
He's
you
yapping.
Because
Yeah,
I'd like to remind
probably-
you that there's a bunch of humans around you.
I speak to him in a human voice. I'm sure he would understand, but that's probably the best way to do it is speak humanly.
You need to roll Animal Ken and
Animal Kin and which other one?
and Charisma. Sorry, I was trying to bring up the sheet.
I don't think any modifiers. Looks like one success on the charisma.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's probably fine. I mean, this is your buddy. You travel around with him. It's probably not that hard to get him to understand you.
Wait, did I roll animalism? That's not what I had. Animal Kin. What the hell? That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that
weird.
isn't what I was looking for.
No, I had Animal Kin, then I clicked it. Or did I click the wrong thing? Oh, I know I did. I clicked the wrong side. Maybe. Hang on. Nope. What the? Okay. Maybe that's not where I put that thing to roll it.
Animal kin is a skill, not a discipline.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might know where I got to put it. Hang on, I'm going to try something. I haven't fully worked out this sheet.
Yeah,
There we go. I got it.
Skills section, you got it. And then when it pops up, you'll select.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. So.
Did you remember to tell Dad your charisma in as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
After you click the Animal Kid, it brings up this which skill you want to add in with it, and the charisma's already up, so I left.
Alright, just making sure.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I like about this sheet.
Same result. He listens. No problem.
Cool. I finished checking my weapons, and I head inside.
And are you heading straight to the private area for Elysium, or did you have anything to do in the front area?
I'm just gonna head straight to the private area. I came here for business. I'm not gonna fucking around with the price of it until maybe after business is.
Okay, that seems wise. Joseph, you said you went shopping for a dog?
Well, I mean, shopping is really a relative term. I could go house to house looking for dogs, just saying.
Okay, how are you obtaining your dog then?
Let's
He
see.
gets to the club and he takes possession of the coyote.
No, I don't want the coyote. I want Rose's dog.
So I guess you're robbing an apartment in Lombard.
Yes, that is what I'm doing then.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to roll to break in successfully.
Let's see. So that would be larceny, right?
Yes, larceny and dexterity.
I just don't see that being a good roll for me. Can I just kick in the door with potence?
No, Ryan, can you kick in a door? Apparently you can.
As as you're staring
I
at
guess if you. Sorry, go ahead, Devin.
as you're staring at this house, wondering how to get the dog, a woman in a tank
It's
top
an
and
apartment. I like to
an
clarify.
apartment. Okay, yeah, a woman in a tank top and a miniskirt will walk up to you with a large scarf wrapped around her neck and say, "Hi."
I look over at her. Hello.
Hi.
Kind of cold to be dressed like that.
I mean, kind of warm to be dressed like that.
I look down at my attire. I guess.
It's just I usually guess too. But yeah. So I'm gonna follow you. Is that okay?
Is there any indication that she's kindred to me or anything I can roll to try to tell?
I believe there is a way that you can try to tell. I'm going to say wits and awareness.
You are all the aware.
I got 2 successes.
So is Jessica like trying to hide what she is in any way?
Nope.
Or make it more difficult?
Just standing there.
Okay. I say, yeah, you realize this is a kindred in front of you.
Interesting. Do you have plans to go to Elysium later?
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's go there.
Alright, I need something first though. Can you open this door for me?
Oh, let's give it a try. I'm gonna try to go and open the door with larceny. If that's alright.
Yep, roll it with dex. Yeah, it's not a fancy apartment or anything. The lock isn't all that great. So you're able now, mind you, this is like an apartment complex. So there's an outer door and an inner door. So you guys have now made it past the outer door and need to get to the apartment where the dog is.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, I will hold the door open, and as soon as I enter the threshold, I will find the nearest plant and tip it over.
I will follow her.
I'll say that there is like one of those little indoor tree things. There's like a fairly big pot with one of those in it in the corner of this lobby area.
Alright. I'm gonna just tip it over and make sure that the dirt is all spread across the floor a bit. That'll be important later.
Really?
Yep. And she will head towards the elevators, I guess?
No, there's stairs only here. Like I
Only
said,
stairs? Well, I'll
not
still
that
head.
great of an apartment. It's
I'll
not
still help.
like great. It's not like terrible, and it's not that good though.
That's fine. I'll still head for the elevators and take the stairs when I miss them.
I'm gonna follow her along. I figure she got me into here so far. We'll find a dog.
Okay.
Oh. Find a dog. Sounds good.
I mean, I did bring. Well, I don't know this yet, but I do have someone who might be able to figure this out.
So we're trying to figure out which apartment it's in?
So you guys are all you're both taking the stairs then, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Jessica has some dirt on her hands, and as you notice it, it starts to like almost swirl and connect with you, and suddenly you're seeing something.
Ooh.
And you see it's almost like a video game type scenario where like think of what's it called, The Sims, right, where you like look down on a building, right, and you can see like avatars moving through it, right? So you're like up above looking down at this apartment complex. You're controlling the game, and you place the cutest little puppy just small enough to fit into somebody's purse on the first floor on the west side of the building. And then snap, you're back to yourself.
Ah! I was gonna wall someone in!
What?
Huh?
Wall someone in, you said.
Yeah, just never mind. It's a thing. But there's a little puppy over that way.
I start heading back down the stairs as Devil's pointing this out.
First floor. How about that? I knew that dirt was gonna come important.
Indeed. And as you guys approach the area, you hear a little. You can pinpoint which apartment it's coming from now.
Think you could open that door for me?
I don't know. It looks more like a. Oh, is it a dog door? No, it's not a dog door. Okay, let's give it a try. Do. Gonna.
Indeed, you managed to pop this one too. Unfortunately, there's also one of the deadbolts that like folds over the door. You might have to get a little forceful or a little creative here.
How would the people who live in the apartment get back in if that's done?
Shit, that's a good point. Fine. Fine. You get in.
They left this dog in there to die.
I told you I walled someone in.
You guys were just getting it too easy. I was trying to make it a little harder.
Alright, so we're in.
You are in, and it looks like nobody's home. You can't see everything from here. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, so it's not, like a tiny little studio you can see at once. And you don't see the dog or the cage in your immediate sight.
Is there a plant?
Sure. I'm gonna say there's a philodendron on a bookshelf by the window.
Alright, I'd like to take the plant and I'd like to move it 3 inches to the right. So it's barely tilting off the bookshelf, basically.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Easy, precarious position. I will turn around and say, that's going to be important later.
I see. Pray tell, what clan are you from?
Me? Oh, do, do, it's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on, come back to me.
Alright then. I'm gonna look around for the cage.
Malkavian, that's what it is. I knew it.
I knew it.
Ah, see? I did too.
So, do you go to the master bedroom or the second bedroom first?
Well, I heard barking. Did that barking stop?
It did for a couple minutes, but now that you guys are in the apartment and moving around, you don't necessarily hear barking, but more, like the whining.
What room do I hear the whining coming from?
From the second bedroom to your left.
Then I'm going to check the second bedroom to my left. I opened it up. What do I see?
There is a little cage covered by a black flannel blanket.
Anything else?
I mean, a bed, dresser, it's a room.
I mean, any people in it.
No, it's empty.
Alright, I'm gonna go over to this cage and lift the blanket up and take a look.
There's a fuzzy little dog in there. He looks like he weighs maybe like 6 pounds, 7 pounds on a good day. He's a Lhasa Apso if you know anything about dogs. But he looks pretty young. Probably only a few months old.
This'll do. I am going to, Is there any, like, dog dish in here or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a food and water bowl nearby.
I'm gonna grab his food bowl. Do I see his food?
Not in here. Maybe the kitchen.
I'm gonna go find the kitchen.
Yeah, you find it. As you search through a few cabinets, you can find the food too. You might find some treats as well.
I'm going to go ahead and peek inside the master bedroom.
It's a mess. It's pretty gross. It looks like a guy lives here that doesn't clean up after himself a lot.
Well, just going to close that door. He's not my type.
I'm going to start pouring some of the food into the bowl and some treats, and then I'm going to take a knife and cut open my wrist.
Very well.
And I'm going to rouse my blood so that I can mix it in with the food.
Go ahead.
Oh my, how arousing.
I succeed.
Indeed you do.
So I mix it up in the food, and then I bring the food to the dog in the cage.
He's barking at you. He doesn't look super happy to see you.
I'm sure he doesn't. Nonetheless, I'm going to give him the food.
He does get excited when he sees the food and happily munches down.
That's a very good boy. Yes, good dog.
Is that tasty? Can I have some?
I wouldn't recommend eating it.
Oh, okay.
And kind of looks at you again. And comes out of the cage, stretches his back legs, and kind of stands at your feet looking up at you like, okay, pet me now, or let's do something. What's up?
I start petting him.
He leans into it and sort of does the little melt that they often do when they enjoy pets.
I'm going to pick him up and put him in my purse.
He's
pretty squirmy. He's pretty squirmy, but you can do it.
I got the purse from you, devil.
You did?
That should be I got the purse from you.
Okay.
You knew we'd need it.
Yeah, I guess I did. That's okay. I don't remember getting it, so that's fine.
Yeah, well, sometimes there's little blank spots in the memory. All in the normal life of a Malkavian.
Well, shall we go to Elysium then? I got what I needed.
Sure. I wonder what I can do there. It'll be great.
I agree. It will be great. Alright, we're going to go to Elysium then.
Okay. You're gonna arrive later than the others because you came from pretty far out in the suburbs. So you're probably, plus, you had your little detour to steal a dog. Um,
Are you sure I'm the Malkavian?
I needed the protection. Think about it. This dog now has either potent, celerity, or presence.
what I am wondering is if this dog is just gonna flip the fuck out at Elysium because aren't most dogs like typically to vampires kind of like, "Meh," right? So if he's like surrounded by them, isn't he just gonna be like, oh my god, bark endlessly?
Not necessarily, especially now that he's been ghouled. He's
Maybe.
something different than a normal dog now.
He's on his way. But anyways, you guys arrive to Elysium. It's still busy. You're not, so late that things have died down. Still very, uh, popular time of night to arrive. Do you guys have any weapons that you need to check in, or are you attempting to cause any trouble, or are you going weaponless?
I don't have any weapons.
I have a scarf.
They'll allow the scarf.
Okay. As for causing trouble, I'd like to switch drinks on a couple people if I can.
I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, it's busy, so, as long as you're looking for people who aren't paying close attention to their drinks, you should be able to do that fairly easily.
Yeah, just swap drinks around and have people have the wrong drinks. It's fine.
Joseph, are you proceeding straight to Elysium? Are you participating in drink swapping?
I mean, my Malkavian friend seemed like she had a purpose for wanting to come with me. So I'm gonna stick with her, especially since my note apparently was not as nice as the other notes.
It wasn't mean. It was just curt.
Yeah, you see, I don't feel my Bruja blood doesn't feel the need to cater to that.
Very well. So you guys mess around.
It's
I want to go ahead and introduce Father Torin and Rick to James. Are you guys both here and ready?
I am here.
I am here.
Okay. So you guys enter Elysium, one shortly after the other, which is convenient because after you've been milling around for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and you see it's a pretty busy night at Elysium. There's a lot of vampires around. But it doesn't seem like there's a crisis or anything. It just seems like maybe people have about, or it happened to be a night where a lot of people just coincidentally had a lot of business to work out. You don't know. Um, are you guys doing anything special before I start? Did you guys have any mission here at Elysium besides meeting with James that you wanted to get to?
Nope.
I do not.
Okay, so after, like I said, you've milled about around 10, maybe 15 minutes, suddenly a sharply dressed man is approaching you, and you kind of notice because as he's approaching, like people, I'm not saying that it's, the parting of the Red Sea or anything, but, people get out of his way if they're like directly in his path, right? He has a very nice black suit on, very crisp white shirt. His tie is just impeccably tied. And it's a fancy like paisley pattern.
Is
He's
that
well groomed. Sorry, what was that?
is it single Windsor or double Windsor?
Single Windsor.
His stock just went down in my eyes slightly.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's his favorite. So, but anyway, he is well groomed, clean shaven, kind of classically handsome, you would say. Um, and he approaches you purposefully. Can I take it that you are Father Torin and perhaps Rick Williams?
I am.
I am Father Torrin. Greetings,
Ah, very good that you made it early. I was really hoping that you would be punctual. Um, so I would like to take you to a little bit more of a private area. If you both would follow me, please.
I follow him.
I nod slightly and fall in line.
So he leads you over to a smaller room that has a door so that you can have a private conversation. You can block out a little bit of the surrounding noise of Elysium. And he has you sit down on a couch that's there, and he sits in a plush armchair nearby. So, I believe we've met before, but just in case, I know it's easy to forget names. I'm James Garrett, and I need a couple people that I can trust to help me out with something. And I find that I don't have a lot of people to spare. And I was giving your names as people who may be interested in helping and furthering our causes.
Sure, I'm willing to help out with whatever is needed.
Indeed. The note made it clear that I was to come and assist in any way I.
Lovely. That makes my life a lot easier. You may have heard about the recent riots that the anarchs have been causing, or at least some subset of them, supposedly. Um, we asked some anarchs to come in and take care of things with them for us. We didn't want, any potential issues with, the clashing of groups. Um, Unfortunately, it's turned out to be a little bit more of a complicated situation than we had hoped. We thought it might be kind of a one and done, take care of it. But it seems that the investigation continues. There's something a little bit deeper at play here. Unfortunately, because we have asked outsiders to step in and help us, that means that I don't have a lot of insights to what's happening here. Uh, I need eyes on what's happening. And I need people that I can count on to give me the full picture, that don't have any ulterior motives for possibly hiding information. Now, that's not to say that our anarch friends are up to no good, but it's better to be sure.
Sir, could I inquire as to where the riots were perpetrated? What part of town?
Mostly in the south side. They have ceased for now, but there's just kind of a crumb trail leading away from it that makes me suspect there are deeper issues that need to be addressed than just the group that was rioting.
Perhaps an outer influence.
That's my fear.
All right. What do I know about the South Side, given my involvement with the communities and that kind of stuff?
There are a lot of disenfranchised communities there. A lot of people that need help. So you've probably been out there before, um, you know, doing charity work, or organizing, after school programs, stuff like that. Just anything that could help these communities get by, right?
So I
Um,
might have an in as far as a contact or whatever to the area that I might be able to draw information.
exactly.
Okay.
Do you guys have any further questions at this point?
If we run into the anarchs that you agreed to go in and quell the riots, what are we supposed to do?
Well, I'll be introducing you to them as soon as they decide to appear tonight.
Oh,
So I just wanted to have a private conversation with you two before we met with them, so that you could understand what I wanted out of this, and I can give a more, I don't know, diplomatic message when we meet them.
Makes
well,
sense.
then I will share with you, sir, that I have some community contacts I might be able to reach out to in those areas to maybe get some inside thoughts on what's been happening.
Very well. I would suggest that you first speak with Joseph, as he's done some investigation as well, it may help you to narrow your search down some, so that you can get to things a little bit more efficiently.
Of course.
Okay, if you have no further questions, then I will release you to enjoy Elysium until I am able to find Joseph and have him come meet you. And from there, my expectations are that you will work closely with him. Please try to earn his trust. He doesn't really need to know that I want eyes on what's going on. You're just helping him. But you should be checking in with me frequently. You don't need to call me every 2 seconds, but a daily status update, unless nothing of interest has come about, would be helpful. Or if you run across anything crucial or where you think, we may need backup or something like that. So I do expect regular communication.
Do you have a good number for us to utilize? Whatever number he gives me, I program it into my phone, and I don't use his name as the number.
He smiles if he sees that. Very good. I appreciate your delicacy in the matter. And he does give you a phone number.
I don't have a phone, so I'm afraid that method's not going to work for me.
Well, you'll have to make sure that you find a way to stay in touch here with Father Torrin, since he does have contact with me. You two can work that out yourselves. I assume, as a gangrel, that in worst case, you could always have a messenger pigeon.
That is true.
Well, I nod politely to him and stand up to go out and partake in the vampire area. Do they sell blood here?
No.
Okay.
And once the meeting's done, yeah, I'd kind of step outside to kind of look around, take in the area.
It's a lot of kindred milling about. There's general clusters of clans, basically. Not to say that there's no intermingling or anything. It's just, there's kind of a group of, Malkavians over there. There's, a clump of a lot of Bruja over there. But, people are moving about, talking to others, so it's not like people are just, staying with their own. Um, so you can do whatever you want. Unless you have anything very particular you'd like to do, I walk to Jessica and
Just briefly, I would like to peruse the area for the willing donors, if there are any. If not, I'll go get something later.
I don't think that would really be here in Elysium per se, just because humans aren't allowed here, just period. But I would say that if you head over to the bar area, or like the club area, that there's probably plenty of people there that you could either, like hunt, go after, or I think if you talk to the bartender and gave a special word, which will say that or like a special order, I should say, they would direct you to somebody who could indulge what you're looking for.
There we go. That's what I plan on doing.
Okay, that lets us transition nicely then. So, Cappy, you'll go ahead, wander Elysium area, I take it?
I will.
Okay, so we'll leave you there for a little bit, and then Father Torin, you head to the bar or to the club area. You walk up to the bar. There's a few bartenders working here, and you wait a few minutes to try to get their attention.
Okay, are they vampire bartenders or are they a mix of humans and vampires?
You don't really know, but you do know that if you ask, excuse me, if
I
you
think
ask
that
for the special of the night, that you will get what you're looking for.
okay, I just didn't want to ask the wrong person that question.
Yeah, there's no wrong person. Anybody who's working here is an insider, we'll say. You just don't necessarily know if that's a human compelled to, keep our secrets, if it's maybe a vampire who just loves being a bartender for whatever reason, or, what it is. You just know that you're safe to speak to the staff.
Okay, then I will ask what the special of the night is.
I'm sorry, let me clarify. You ask for the special of the night, and then they'll introduce you to somebody.
Correct.
Whatever. So, he kind of puts up a finger to wait a minute, and steps away for a moment to. There's like a little room almost to the back of the bar, and or actually before he does that, you got any requests?
Oh, athletic types.
You got a preference on gender?
I do not.
All right, I'll be back.
Also, another question: does my flaw of being disliked by priests activate?
If I was still a priest, maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it may not be as strong as when you were a priest, but I feel like there's probably still something where you're just kind of like, a little distaste for that lady at the that you see down the bar, and
Is she swapping people's drinks? How crude!
yeah,
Hopefully she's
basically.
not the special of the night, and then we'll be okay.
But yes, Finn, you can see him at the bar. It's not like at least I assume he's not hiding.
Nope, I'm trying to blend in normal. I casually glance over. Do I recognize you?
You do, but I'll let him explain it.
Ah, that explains the familiarity. Thank you.
I will kind of bounce up behind him and be like waving to the priest, because priests might dislike me, but I love priests.
Is she one of your clients? Ah, pity.
Dog is barking suddenly and loud.
So, what do you have in the bag? Sounded like a high squeaky rat or something. You sure?
Pretty sure.
Ah. What brings you to Elysium this evening? Ah. Must be important if you came to see it anyway.
Seems important to me.
Well, there's always work in the city for people of your talents. And for the moment, I'm ignoring the female.
And right now, the bartender walks up with a lady who has a pretty athletic build. She looks like she is maybe like a gymnast or something. But she's strong. You can tell that like she's very toned. She definitely works out a lot.
I look appreciative at her.
Shall I open a tab or are you paying up front?
Out of character, do I know what the cost of this would
You know that it's $15 typically unless you had some special request, but you're expected not to take obviously, a huge amount of blood from them.
Oh, of course, for the safety of the individual. Will that $15 get me my dot back?
Yes.
Well, that was my goal, so I will pay up front.
Okay, so he takes your cash or card, whatever it is, performs the transaction, and she comes around the bar to you.
Shall we go somewhere a little more private?
Yeah, that sounds good. My name's Tom.
Ah, Tanya. That's a pretty name.
I guess so. At least it's unique, so I don't get confused too much.
Um,
I found that the name of the person doesn't tend to up with what house they confuse themselves. I'm very confused now. What was I saying?
um, so are you ready? What's your name?
my name is Torin.
Okay, Torin, let's go. And she kind of hooks her arm into yours, and you guys go off into the sunset. Not really the sun.
Alrighty. I
I
ignore
mean,
him and I keep walking.
does she have daddy issues? Jessica, yes. Nice to meet you. It's Joe Jessica. That's an interesting name. Just Joe for short. Okay. So, so you're here for a summons, huh? Probably. Could get interesting at least. I bet there's something in this. Ooh, domino. I like interesting things. It might be interesting just to talk to him. I wonder if he likes me. That'll be fun.
Garrett.
James Garrett. So we went through the Elysium part, or the Elysium area rather, and again, you're milling around for a little bit, and then you see James over talking to a few other gentlemen in suits. Maybe some venture, if you had to guess.
That's all they do, isn't it? Talk. I mean, those are two fun things to do. I've never really gotten into either one, but actually, I talk a lot now that I think about it, and I buy stuff a lot. Maybe I'm secretly a vendor. Oh no! What will my clan think of me? Let me check. Got it. So, into the back rooms, the basement, the fun place. I wonder if they have a skylight. I doubt they have a skylight. It wouldn't be very smart to have a skylight. No, not at all. Although moons are fun. Maybe it's a skylight that can be shuttered. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. He sees you approach, and as you get close, you hear him say, "All right, thanks, fellas. I'll talk to you later to wrap up the details here. I've got a meeting here that has been a little overdue. Uh, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak with them." And the men, they nod and they're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever," and give their goodbyes. And he promptly spins and turns to look at you, Joseph, and then his eyes kind of flick over to Jessica, who he sees, nearby.
She will wave bubbly.
It seems you're here with a different person every time. I suppose. She said she was on, the brink of figuring, I don't know, I think she's working on her magic or something. Tremere, how they get. She's on the brink of something, and she can't be torn away.
Dominoes! They are always set up to fall. Well, nothing wrong with liking other girls. I like other girls. Wonder if it's a personality thing. So, we're here to talk about the skylight, right?
A
Yes.
skylight?
Oh, there should be a skylight in here. You know, see the moon.
Well, that is not under my control. You'd have to speak to somebody else for that.
Oh.
Indeed. They're currently gathered right over there. We have a new art installments, and, well, you know. Of course you're going to find them there.
Might have to talk to them later. Dominoes.
So, Cappy, you're not, like, hiding yourself away or anything, right? You're staying in pretty plain sight so that when
Yeah.
James wants to find you, he can. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, James, you see him as he like looked around, kind of his eyes roaming over the crowd, and then you see, there he is. Okay, follow me, please. And
follow.
starts going toward. No, he was saying that to Joseph and Jessica. He's approaching you now with them in tow.
Whee!
I stop as I see them approaching and kind of watch them approach. Looks like they've arrived finally.
I would like Diablo Rice Cappy. Wait,
No.
no.
I'm afraid I can't allow that yet.
What do you mean yet?
All right, now you guys tell me what that means.
I mean, at some point, maybe. I mean, anything's possible, Cappy.
Diablo
I'm sorry, I've been
Torin.
waiting to meet him to say that all night. So.
Diablerie means your character drinks all of my vampire kicker's blood, and you would gain some of his powers in the process.
Yeah, he eats your soul.
But he's so dirty. Why would you want to eat that?
I mean, reasons.
Never mind,
Anyways,
Diablo is highly frowned upon.
anyways,
Uh,
James looks at you, at Rick. Where's Father Torin?
I look. No, I'm glad somebody does. I'm about to look around so I can find him.
oh, the good father was having a nice little seclude with a flexible person.
I see. That's
She
okay.
wanted to call
I'll
him
text
Daddy.
him. I see.
So, a priest is seducing someone. I guess that never changes.
So, Torin, you receive a text from James. Please come meet us as soon as you are available. We are ready to begin our meeting.
Oh, okay. Without being rude or crass, I'm going to say, got to finish this in a hurry. Given her flexibility, I think it's immoral. What do you mean?
I just bite her. I don't actually take any of the blood.
Well, after
I'll
I
just
take
give
the
it to him.
$15, I do believe I can heal the wound slightly. Well,
It's
I'm skilled in biology and science. I would hope so.
it's crucial to my character.
Okay, I did read that somewhere.
I'd also like to point out you probably don't really have to hurry per se, because you gotta remember that they had to meander over to where Elysium was. They spent like 10 or 15 minutes just milling around trying to find him because it's a pretty big area, and then spent a couple minutes talking. So it's not like, you've got 2 minutes and you gotta run, but you've probably got at most like 15 minutes.
Okay, well then I take better care of the lady because I don't want to have her feeling uncomfortable afterwards.
Bad priest.
Okay, so you can, finish up your feeding. You will still have one hunger. So, are you aware of how that works? Like your hunger?
No, but I did take one dot away, so I have one hunger.
Okay, so you will always have one hunger, even if you've just ate, because unless you kill. So the only way to fully sate the beast is with a kill. But
Okay.
typically, if you're in the Camarilla, you're not leaving a trail of dead bodies, so you're kind of just always a little hungry. The beast is always just scratching so slightly at your tummy.
You can always have a snack. Copy.
But can't you feed off of other vampires?
I think so.
Lovely.
So we'll say that you promptly make your way over. James kind of catches your attention at the door since he knew you were probably coming from the club/bar area. And he pulls you all aside, not to like a private room or anything, but to a little bit quieter area, so that you still have, some amount of privacy.
Huh. Fancy meeting you here again. I look at Joseph. Indeed. Not fresh out of the holy water.
That was an in-character snicker, by the way.
I imagine that I probably, if I had had holy water on me, I'd had check it at the entrance as a weapon.
I don't think a whole lot of effects will piss us off to get wet, but I don't think it'll hurt us.
It'd probably be kind of frowned upon, but I don't think anybody would like go out of their way to, like make a big fuss out of it. Interesting. So I see a couple of you know each other, actually.
Incidentally, I know Joe here from working in the communities that require a lot of prayer.
That'll be helpful.
Indeed.
I'm usually ducking in the alleyway or sleeping wherever I can, so I notice what I can, but I don't pay attention to the whole picture unless I have to. I'm a gangrel, man. Oh, really? You get all puffy against me, huh? There's something I should know?
All right, enough with the
What's
pissing
that supposed to mean?
contest. Hey,
Hey, you started it.
I don't give a shit. You're not toddlers.
Well, that one might be just in a bigger body, and I point at the other female.
Mocavian. They're always interesting to have around. I thought it was mentioned. If it was, then ignore it. I thought it was mentioned. I'm sorry.
Well, I hope you can figure out how to get along for some of you, although fate has smiled on us at least, and that some of you know each other. But I've brought you all together because, Joseph, it seems that your investigations are really leading you along. And I am a little concerned about the reliability, we'll say, of your friends, and you possibly needing some backup. And I also want to show, Camarilla how, good faith. We're contributing to the effort too. We don't want it to seem as if we're laying everything on the shoulders of the anarchs. So I thought it would be helpful if these two could help you. They're interested in your efforts, and I believe they will prove very helpful to you. Unfortunately, sometimes they can get a bit caught up in their own efforts. But please don't take it that they were ever babysitters for you. It's, simply that, we want to do our part to assist here. My job requires me to speak with people of many backgrounds. Well, I don't
Does
think
he
you'd be
really?
bowing down to her as she is not involved with us, but yes, I believe these two will be able to help.
I'm useful, probably, maybe, sometimes. No, I am. Yes, no, no. Yes, I am.
Well, I've seen you around here, and I don't know of any reason to be concerned about you. So I guess as long as she is also discreet, and as we've discussed, previously, then I have no objection to you asking for her assistance.
Oh, don't worry, I fit in with all sorts of society.
I guess that's good to know. Do any of you have any questions about what you're doing or your partners? Oh, I suppose I should actually introduce you since you don't all know each other. Although my fair friend here will have to introduce herself as I'm not actually familiar with her. But this gentleman here is Joseph Audley. He's the anarch, one of the anarchs that has been helping us recently. And you know Father Torin, but we also have Rick Williams here to help you. I'm Rick Williams. This is Joseph Audley.
And I'm Jessica. Jessica Time.
Hello, Jessica.
Don't mind me. Sometimes I go off on tangents. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's crazy, but it's fine.
I'm pleased to meet you, Jessica. I'm James Garrett.
Lovely. By the way, look out for falling objects.
I'll be sure to do that.
Lovely. It'll save you some headaches.
Well, if you'll excuse me then, I do have quite a bit of business to attend to.
Indeed. Enjoy yourself and have fun, my friend.
Joseph, please do update them on your investigations so far. I figured that since you have all the details, you would be the best to do it, so they only know the high levels of what I've asked you to do. Thank you, and all of you have a wonderful evening here.
Torn. Sure.
Sure.
I already know what's going on. I just haven't been told yet.
I see. Always somebody trying for the power play.
Are these anarchs the ones that were inciting the riot? What other group are you referring to?
I just kind of blink at that. Okay, that's interesting way to put it, I suppose. Uh, keep talking like that. We'll see who's the bitch and who. And I don't take kindly to you calling Gangrel your bitch. That will
I've
be
been the
dealt with.
bitch several times. I've been the
Next
bitch several times. It's actually quite fun.
And I stick my finger in his face when I say that.
Regardless,
what
we're
that
not
is.
supposed to fight in here anyway. So on
Oh,
to
I
more
won't.
information.
I would advise against you doing that, as it is frowned upon to use any of your abilities in Elysium. Okay. You can if you really want to. Just understand that if you're not careful, there are certainly consequences waiting for you.
What this comes out under I forgot. I want to look it up because I forgot what it does. Ah, you suck. If she is, we'll definitely find out when I get there. I should be able to tell if she's a gangrel or not.
On the north side. And you
If
said the
indeed
meeting's
she
only
is,
once a month?
uh, if indeed
is.
she is Gangrel, perhaps I can convince her to let me accompany her.
I might have some contacts up in there in the community service orientation or the community service circle. I would need to get a little bit more information about this type of meeting once a month type of thing that you're speaking of, so that I don't just go in and blatantly ask. You know how it goes being a therapist. You got to kind of dig around the issue to get information.
Lincoln Park Zoo. Alright, I haven't been there in a while.
Who's in Lincoln Park Zoo? Does she work there?
She does not work there. She has found a way to make it her haven, since she has presumably a place to hide during the day, and the place is pretty empty at.
Perhaps she is Gangrel. She's able to lay in there. She's able to keep the animals calm. Most of them, depending on where she's at, would look at any humanoid-looking person very favorably, not unless a person has a way to calm them down.
I'm going to start with the bear exhibit with the cave.
You should probably let me actually go in there. If there are bears, I'd have a chance of actually calming them down before they get their claws out. And then if they actually hit us, yeah, them claws might hurt.
Well, we
I'd
just
like to
have to.
clarify exactly who is going and what you're doing. So who is all going to Lincoln Park Zoo?
I'm gonna go.
I want to go see who this Veronica is. More because of the charge that the G-Man gave.
Okay. Joseph, did you tell them that she is Anarch and is not Camarilla?
I assumed it. Which is why when I leave the establishment I'm in, I make sure I get my gun.
I'm going to follow along behind because I'm sure there are plenty of opportunities to set up the future in the park, the zoo. I'm sure that'll be fine. Just an unlocked cage here.
And then once I get, away from the establishment, I'm gonna put my collar back on.
Okay, so as you approach the entrance to the zoo, you don't see anybody in. I mean,
Oh,
outside of maybe breaking in.
I
And
jump over the fence.
do you have anything to make that easier?
Yeah, that's one of my abilities.
Okay. What ability is that, and do you need to roll anything for that to work?
1 second, let me find it.
Look at your
I have
discipline.
Soaring Leap. It's my first power under Potence.
Okay, you should be able to just use that then. So you can go ahead and leap over, but that does leave Rick and Jessica standing outside. Joseph, what are you doing with all of this? Are you just hanging around somewhere kind of nearby but out of sight?
Pretty much. I've decided that I don't feel like going back in and dealing with that place because, I might have to make all the gang growl there my bitches, including Cappy.
That's probably wise.
You keep talking like that, he's not gonna exist very long.
How much protein you got, Cappy?
I'm only at 1 at the moment.
Then I'm not worried.
I'm just gonna, tap on the fence and then walk away.
So does the fence open from the inside?
It
Or the
does.
door? So I will let them in after I check for an alarm.
There are alarm systems.
What type of alarm system?
I don't know. Like normal security. I'm not terrible.
Modern Torin.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the entry office, I'm going to ruffle around in there to find. I'm gonna check under the keyboard and that because somebody's got the damn code written down because that's the way humans are.
Go ahead and roll.
And I have a specialty of break-in.
Sure, but you've kind of already broken in, right? Like you're looking for a way to disable the security system. So I would say this is like an intelligence and investigation.
Okay, what if I don't have any dots in investigation?
Then it would be straight intelligence.
You can do it, Torin. You can do it, Torin. So
No, I can't.
1 hunger die success.
So you find a slip of paper that seems like it probably has to do with what you need to shut this down, but it's like almost written in like code, not like some sort of like fancy code, but something that only uh, someone in the know would understand. But as you stand there kind of looking around, you're harumphy and you're angry, you can't figure out, how are you going to get this system off. Somebody peeks their head around the door or like opens the door and peeks their head through. Are you trying to visit Veronica or are you just breaking in here because you're an asshole?
What if it's both? I smile with a charming smile. I'm looking to visit with Veronica. I heard she has residence. I have others with me that I was going to try and get in without bringing the whole world down.
Yes, so I see you're not familiar with the place and you don't understand how to ask for entrance, so you just started breaking in. Is that about right?
Yep, that's about right.
Okay, go stand outside this room. I will get things set up so that they can come in, but I don't want you peeking at the passwords or anything.
I nod and amicably step out of the room.
And after a couple minutes, you see, a few lights pop on. You hear the buzzing of, machinery as the gates start to open, and he gets up and he's like, "Okay, let's go get your friends, and I'll bring you straight to Veronica. You guys aren't to have free roam of this place, and I got to get this place closed down pretty quickly, so you need to get in quick."
Okay.
And so we reunite with Jessica and Rick, who are waiting outside, and the guy that you just met is like waving for them to come in quickly.
Hurry up before they draw attention. I say that to the two outside.
I move in.
I need to figure something out really quick, actually.
Sure.
Cap, do you have your coyote with you?
Yes, I picked him up after we left.
I'd suggest maybe I don't know, leaving him here so he doesn't rile up the other critters that are in.
Good idea. I instruct him to sit down and wait here. And if we're alone, this is somebody's feral. If there's no humans around.
I would like to use premonition, actually, to see if it would be better for me to go in or stay with the person who has made themselves invisible. Hello?
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Go ahead and do your rouse check and your roll for that.
Oh, it says free or one rouse check, so I wasn't sure which.
Let me take a look at it then.
Oh, if I actively provoke it, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, you give me the premonitions.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you're at hunger 3 now, right, Devil?
Yep.
So you start to get the kind of like swirling, flashing of a premonition, but the beast is whispering in your ear. It's time to feed. We need to eat. What are you doing? Gotta eat.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wander off, I guess. Just.
Well, you still get your roll, Devil, to perform it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just it's interrupting it and slowing it down a little bit. It's not preventing it. You're
Okay.
just you're kind of being pulled in two directions for, half a minute here. But go ahead and roll your resolve and aspects. Perfect.
Wait, why did it roll one dice?
No,
It didn't.
Go ahead and explain it to him.
So, when you have your dice pool, right?
Mhm.
You always have a number of those dice equal to your hunger as hunger dice.
Okay.
So what this is basically saying is like you rolled one normal die and 3 hunger die.
But
I'm guessing your total pool was 4.
let's see, I've got 2 aspects and resolve of 3. So that should have been 5 dice, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Taking a look now.
I might have set up my stuff wrong. I'm just. Oh, discipline. That's why. That makes sense. Do you want me to re-roll or?
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll once you have it set up correctly.
Alright. Why would it still only roll one is the question there. There are so many roll buttons here. No? Okay, that rolled one. That was closer at least. Oh, I see. It's rouse and then that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a rouse button and then there's like actually using it.
Yeah, but I also have a rouse button at the bottom, so I was confused at that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it should be correct-ish now, I guess.
Well,
Still don't know what I
resolve
did.
of 3
Yeah,
and an aspect, so you should be rolling 5 dice.
yeah, that's.
Interesting.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
I agree. This is my first time using these character sheets. I'm sure not everything's perfect on them. But they had the
Well, you
right
rolled
stuff
3
to
dice
fill
on
it.
the premonition that time.
Whatever. We'll just take that one. That's fine. So you succeed, but you're not having like a full-on like vivid vision.
No,
But suddenly you really miss Joseph. Like you just, man, his presence was so calming. And why are you doing this? And you know, he's kind of filling your head with, you know, almost like this dreamy haze,
Hey, I'm
almost
hungry.
like, daydream about him. Yeah, and you're just like, man, he's probably having a lot more fun than I am.
Yeah, just
Maybe he's even eating.
gonna go find Joseph. I'm gonna wave to the people and just wander off finding Joseph.
Oh boy.
Just have fun storming the castle.
I was gonna keep up with Father. I forgot his name, but the priest guy. I met Soft Mix went upstairs for a second, so I don't know where Father Torrin went. I would have kept with him though.
Alright. So if you're going to find Joseph, he's not too far from there. He's not going inside.
So Joseph, I'm hungry. Do you know any fun people?
Fun people.
Fun people.
We could go see what we could find.
I like seeing what we could find, though I have peculiar tastes, just to warn you.
Oh, that's fine. It'll be interesting.
Okay.
So I guess me and Devil are going hunting while they do that.
Did Cappy say he was going upstairs? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I was gonna keep with Father Torrin.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. I thought you said you had to go or something.
No, that's up in Discord. I remember to pass it to my Wi-Fi, so I'm now on my PS4 now.
Okay. Does anybody like, are they dying to do their scene first? Do we? Okay, I feel like the hunting scene is going to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to start with that.
All right.
I'll be back shortly.
All right.
I
so-
mean, the hunting scene is only shorter because it has to do some fading.
Indeed. Also, sorry for the delay I occasionally have. The others know, but I'm not sure if you've heard about it, Devil. I sometimes have issues with Discord not picking up my button press, and I cannot seem to fix it for the life of me. So if I
That-
seem to have a little bit of a delay, it's probably the button.
No, that's fine. I'm familiar with this problem.
So,
It's hard to find the button sometimes. It's fine.
what are you guys doing to hunt? Where are you going?
Well, we're gonna find some homeless people, cause that's
Homeless people.
been what I've been feeding on to train what I want.
Sure, homeless people might be fun. They probably need some extra warmth. Unfortunately, I don't provide it, but they don't know that yet.
Well, we'll have to see.
Actually, I have to double check that.
Are you looking anywhere in particular? Like, are you going for the subway, looking under overpasses, looking for like a warming shelter or something like that?
Um, probably gonna check around the L.
Okay. So you walk over to the nearest L stop, and you look around for a little bit, and there's kind of one overpass that the L goes over, and you think you see a form huddled underneath it, maybe.
Alright. So, which one do you want?
Well, well, gonna be interesting. I'll take a chance at it. I don't know. It's better that I do mine sort of out of the side of the roads, though.
What are you planning on doing? Fucking them?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you can do that on the L.
Okay, let's do that then. That's fine.
Oh, it's frowned upon. You might be arrested.
Who
I
cares?
think your first instinct was probably the better one. Joseph is a bad influence.
Joseph is a bad influence. Here we go.
Just fuck him on the L. I'm just saying, I'm willing to bet that that sometimes does happen on the L, and sometimes it probably is homeless people.
I'm just pointing out there's a reason she wears skirts.
Devil. Why do you have to make my life difficult?
I'm sorry. It wasn't me, I swear. I was all gung ho, but then someone said to the Malkavian, "You can just do it here." Oh, okay.
You don't say that to a Malkavian? Oh my lord.
Are you guys approaching the figures under the overpass then?
Yeah.
Sure. Seems like a good
So
idea.
you see that there's actually 3 people huddled up there. It's not the coldest night, but it's definitely not warm out. So you know they're wrapped up pretty as well as they can be, and they're staying close for warmth. It's Rose. And They're passing around a bottle of beer between them.
How empty is the beer looking?
It's like a 40, right? So it's not like a regular bottle of beer. It's a 40, and it's about half full now.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna go just kind of meander up and squat down next to them. Hi.
Or what do you want?
Well, I thought I'd come be social.
People usually aren't just friendly with us.
They should be now, shouldn't they?
I mean, it'd be nice if we were treated like, people like we are, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, it often is. But, I feel that see a group of people, go talk to them. They might be friendly.
Well, you're better than most of them then. Cheers to you. And he downs a drink. By the way, it's one woman and two men.
Lovely. So how's things going out here, anyway?
It's cold and we're hungry.
Hmm. I can relate.
What have you been doing tonight? What brings you around this area?
Was at a bar and then I went to the zoo. It was weird. They were closed. And I decided to just wander around and look for fun.
Well, I'm afraid outside this bottle of beer we don't have much fun.
Really? I can think of a few things.
And what are those things?
Well, 2 guys. Now there's 2 girls.
And
And there are plenty of ways to keep warm. Eyebrow wiggle.
I'm going to say
I do have specialty in seduction subterfuge.
in subterfuge. Okay, then we'll go charisma and subterfuge. So
Uh,
your specialty.
That gives you an extra die to roll in that roll, Devil.
Lovely. Charisma subterfuge. Well,
So, they let you.
That is a fuck. That's 2 tins on the hunger dice.
Yes. So you just had a. I forget what they call it, but it's I think a messy critical. So your beast is a little more active with this one.
yeah.
So there's just some like animal, I don't know, thing to you that's just like an animal drive that's that you could just like feel the sex coming off of you. And yeah, you know what? A little bit of warmth on a cold night like this sounds, it's better than beer. and we fade to black. Hey, play nice.
That is what I call a messy critical. So I take it I get hunger back or something?
Yeah, I'd say if you want to, you could take away 2 of your hunger dice unless your beast is taking over completely and you're killing them. But
No.
the beast isn't like itching to kill at this point. It's just like this can be some freaky stuff, and yeah, they're probably going to give you whatever you want. So
Okay.
you can fill up. I don't suggest killing.
No. I will not kill.
I'm just gonna make sure that while Devil's having his orgy, everything's safe.
You never thought you'd say those words again?
I think we all kind of expect that as long as the devil is part of our life, then we're probably going to end up saying those words at some point. But does that mean Joseph is not participating? He's just keeping guard.
Yep. Yep, Joseph's just keeping guard, because Joseph's not really hungry. He's at 1 hunger still.
Okay, that's fine. So you can keep guard.
So how does the resonance work?
Oh yeah, you should tell Devil the residence and what he feeds on.
So they have melancholy resonance, which I think you can use to build up to obfuscate. So the system in this is very much you are what you eat. I'm really sorry about the dogs in the background.
Oh, that's fine. That
Um,
I'm just picturing that as the sounds from what I was doing.
that totally is.
Uh,
But so you are what you eat. So in the sense that like people's blood takes on hush now.
uh,
1 minute. Okay. Hopefully this will be a little bit quieter now. um, so melancholy typically comes from people who are sad, who are scared, maybe intellectual, or depressed. And so, since they live their life on the street, they spend a lot of time, scared. They feel invisible, and you can kind of feel that fear of always being cut off and almost less than human in the eyes of the people around them. And um, there's not a lot they can do about that. And that's kind of how feeding works in this game, of basically like depending on what their conditions, their average emotions are, especially if like those emotions are running higher at the time that you're feeding from them. They'll
so
have different resonances that can build up to different disciplines over time.
so basically, right now, if I want to build up melancholy, I have to be the geeky nerd chick that goes for the gamer guys,
That could work.
or homeless people. Homeless people are good too.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways for all of these.
All right, good to know. And I guess I count them. I count how many people I feed from, or is it?
I'm sorry, did you ask me something?
Yeah, I was asking if I count how many people I feed from, or is it just feeding, or what?
It's similar to basically how much blood they would have. You could satiate about 2 points of your hunger off one human without killing them.
Okay.
If you're looking for building up to a discipline, it might help for my tracking purposes, just because it'll be easier for each of you to just keep track of what you're doing than me try to keep track of all of you, since you know what you're going for, to kind of keep track of how often you've fed in a way that would build up to that, and then we can talk about when that actually activates for you.
Yeah. And normally, by the book, if I remember right, it's 3 separate feedings, or if you kill them. If you kill them, it's instant. You achieve resonance and can learn disciplines. But as you're not trying to kill them, then it takes about 3 separate feedings from 3 different nights, if I remember right.
Yeah, so if you feel like you've reached that 3 separate feedings on 3 separate nights, and I don't remember to say like, oh hey, you can pick this up, feel free to bring it up to me.
All right, will do. Just wanted to clarify before we went too far into that.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it helps because then everybody knows. So you guys are always fine to ask stuff like that.
I was about to say, wait, 3 separate feedings. Well, I just had 3 separate people, so glad the 3 separate nights were clarified. Anyway, I am faded to black. I have a voyeur. It's fun.
Okay. Cappy, Torin, I know we're a little on the later side, so I just want to make sure before we dive in, are we ready for doing your scene? Are you guys ready to do that tonight?
That muscle relaxer's kicking in pretty hard now.
If he's got to go, I'm glad I'm waiting. I don't want him to stick around if you can.
Yeah, that's up to you, Torin. If you're ready to call it a night, that's fine. If you feel like you can make it for one more scene, then we can do that. So it's up to you.
Let's go ahead and go.
I'm having trouble hearing you, actually. You're very quiet again.
He
Let's go ahead and
go
go.
ahead and go.
Let's do the scene and that way we can end with us being back together.
Okay, cool. So you guys, he kind of just looks as Jessica walks off, and he just shrugs his shoulders. Whatever. And he directs you to the penguin house, and he grabs like one of the zoo maps that you can usually get there, and kind of shows you like, you're gonna go down here and hang a left, and you'll see a big sign. It'll be real obvious. Just head straight there. Keep in mind there's cameras all over, so don't get into any funny business. It's not worth it.
Of course.
We'll be careful.
Info me. Does your mistress control the camera footage, or do we need to avoid being seen?
Yeah, we have access to everything. I mean, they don't know it, but we have access to everything.
Okay. So I'm gonna take her directions. If I see a camera, I'm gonna try and not look into it. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll try to make sure I avoid the camera if I happen to see them come close to one or whatnot.
Okay. After a few minutes of walking, you guys arrive at the penguin exhibit, and the door is kind of cracked open as if to invite you to come in. You're expected.
Does it look like it's really dark inside?
It's not particularly dark. It's lit. It's not, like full on bright zoo lights, but you can move around, you can see.
Okay.
Alright, I'll step inside. Can I open the door enough for me to step in and step in?
Yep.
Kind of up above everything, like a little bit of an elevated area, you see a woman seated. There's people kind of buzzing around, attending to various things, nothing that particularly catches your attention. And the woman is kind of average height, average build. She has long brown hair and brown eyes. She's, she's not pretty, she's not ugly, she's kind of plain, really. Like, she doesn't necessarily stand out. But you can tell that everybody around the room knows who's in charge, and they know it's her, and you know it's her.
Sure.
Okie dokie then. I would casually approach.
You are, Cappy. You're the one that's, if anything, you're like her, right? As far as clan goes.
If she's a gangrel, yes.
That's the word that you have.
Okay, then I'm gonna defer to him and just step back and walk. But I don't want to be the leader. I put on my father priest motif.
So, Cappy, are you familiar with the idea that Gangrel have kind of an official Gangrel type greeting that other Gangrels recognize?
No, that might actually be something I'm not familiar with. I thought I was familiar with gangrel all the way. I guess not.
Gangrels introduce themselves when they meet other Gangrel. They give name, they give sire, they give generation, they give various nicknames they've acquired, because Gangrel like to acquire nicknames and titles.
They also sniff each other's asses.
I don't have that much detail on my character for nicknames and all that.
Whatever you do have, you would probably do it here, since you know that she reportedly is a Gangrel.
Yeah.
And the idea is basically, right, they are more animalistic, and so you're moving into somebody's territory. You need to identify yourself, and you need to give reason why you're entering their territory so you can kind of be approved for it.
Yeah, I approach, but I don't get too close, as close as she can hear me. I am Rick Williams, Gangrel. do not know my sire, I'm afraid. He didn't stick around long. I am 11th generation.
11.
Been around a while.
You would explain it as 11 steps from.
Oh, I'm 11 steps from Kane. And being as since I just with no problem saying Gangrel, I'll tip my glasses off to show my eyes. I have wolf eyes.
I am Veronica Lamar. I am part of the Anarch movement. I am 10 steps from Kane. And I am known as the Ice Queen and the Prowler in the Night. And I question what you're doing here, as I do not know you, and I don't think you know me. And I also question who you brought onto my territory.
He is with me. He is no threat. I heard there was another Gangrel nearby, and I wanted to meet. I did not meet many of my brethren. I wanted to come up, say hello.
I see. What brings you to the area?
Honestly, I wander around a lot, but over the last 10, 20 years, I've kind of built an affinity for the area, so I've actually not moved around much. Except for the wilds, I tend to linger there when I'm not in the towns.
I see. So what brings you out of the wilds?
I come out of the wilds now and then for sustenance, obviously, to help with various kindred business should the need arise. There's usually something going on that draws me out. Tend to keep my ear to the ground for interesting tidbits.
Are you independent too, then?
Yes.
Out of character, Cappy. You realize she means she's asking if you are an anarch or
I know.
if you're part of the Camarilla. And so you're attempting to lie to her?
Yeah. Trying to get in their good graces so he can do what he said, what he told Finn's character he was going to try and do.
I'd like you to then roll manipulation and subterfuge for me.
That should be interesting. Oh, I did put one subterfuge. Yes, I didn't think I did.
He put one subterfuge.
It's better than no subterfuge.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's not good.
I'm glad I used premonition then. I'm just saying.
I don't think you're being honest with me. I think I would know you if you were an independent. So, who are you really? Because I'm certainly not inclined to play host to a liar.
My apologies. I was honestly a little nervous if I said that you would jump down and attempt to strangle me. I work with a Camarilla. I don't know if you could say I'm totally in line with them, but I help them out.
Just like the Camarilla. But, not all anarchs are, completely unruly and willing to fight about everything. It's really not fair of you to just assume that I am going to lose my mind because you're Camarilla.
That was why I apologized. I did not mean to offend you.
Hmm. Okay, I suppose I can overlook it. Alright, so you're Camarilla, but you're interested in speaking with me. Is there some hidden agenda here? Are you trying to find a space to call home? Because I warn you that I don't plan on sharing my space.
I was already informed this is your domain, so I did not come here with that intention. As I said, I heard there was another gangrel and I wanted to meet. I may work with a Camarilla, but I'm gangrel first.
Fair enough, brother. So do you serve some particular role in the Camarilla?
Uh, I guess the only role I'm currently serving is assisting in keeping the peace, basically. Making sure shit doesn't hit the fan and all that good shit. I mean, I can see how you would not want shit to hit the fan. I mean, if it gets bad for everybody. No one wants to.
I mean, some people want that. That's why your people are looking into my people, is it not? Some people didn't want peace and quiet. Not to say that I agree with their efforts to, I don't know, stir up a riot, I guess, was really their goal. But, I mean, obviously not all of us are willing to just stay quiet.
Yeah, I heard about the riot, but I don't believe all the anarchs were involved in that. That just seemed too much. Not the time for something like that.
So, um, is there anything that you need from the gang girl? I'm afraid I'm not as close with a lot of the gang girl here, unfortunately. I'm new to the area.
Not currently, no. I'm just kind of making my way around, doing what I do. Helping out where I'm needed and stuff. Because, I am in this area and I don't feel like getting killed because somebody decided to do something stupid. So,
Hey, Cappy, out of character. Do you even know why we're here?
but you were investigating the, damn, I think I forgot. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, dude.
I know Finn's character knows her's been going somewhere who wanted to know where. I know that, and that's why I get in his good graces. I know there's something else going on. I totally freaking forgot. Sorry about that.
All right.
It would be probably good for Father Torn to speak up here. She has been glancing at you every so often because you've been so quiet.
Okay, so if she's actually acknowledging that I'm here, when my fellow, my other person here loses where he's at, I introduce myself as Father Torn. I am
And
a
why are you in my house?
I will be upfront. I am here on the same business as the gentleman here. We're trying to look into why someone was trying to set up your area as the scapegoat for riots. Um, and but I have persuasion and stuff. So however you want to do this, but I'm more interested in what you may know about those um, that are from the north side that might be trying to affect your area, because we all know that conflict doesn't really serve a purpose nowadays.
That's a lot of questions for somebody that just showed up on my doorstep.
Indeed, I figured you'd want it straight to the point, as my friend here did everything but go straight to the point. As a Jesuit, I'm used to saying things directly and to the.
I've already talked with somebody working for the Camarilla about a lot of these things, and I've said the things that I intended to say. I'm not sure what else I can tell you.
Are you referring to the one called Joseph?
Yes, I hope you are not associated with him.
Well, call me guilty. So you can imagine that whatever happened between you two, we didn't get any real good details out of it.
Yes, and you're not going to get good details out of me. I don't see why you need to know all of this.
Oh, I just figured, and I put on my persuasion. And I use Streetwise as well, um, saying that all I care about is trying to figure out why anyone's putting unrest in the city. I work with a lot of the communities, and anything that affects the communities affects me.
So you're trying to persuade her to share information with you?
Correct.
Um, Charisma and persuasion. Man, you guys really push this woman around.
Did I do good?
Damn.
He like really intimidated her though.
You know, it's going to be funny because I'm going to end up talking to her at one point and I'm just going to confuse her.
Well, at least she's got a polite version to refer to a Camarilla with, because I'm doing all good stuff.
Well, that was good too, except for the attempt of deception that failed horribly.
If there's something that can help the communities that you're interested in, I guess I can share some information.
I smile graciously. Thank you. I'm glad that you are willing to help the communities like us.
So, what is it exactly that you need?
Perhaps a date, time, and location of a meeting in the north side that might help us figure out who was causing problems in the south side.
Oh, well, if you're referring to my meeting in the north side, it's not really related to those events with Caleb in the South Side. That's a meeting that I have regularly for some business partners.
I see. I was under the understanding that there was perhaps some nefarious entities that were interested in that meeting that you put on once a month. So I was hoping to perhaps stand at your side during the meeting so that we may aid if needed. Now that the riots have been put down in the South Side, I imagine whoever's causing you problems is going to continue to try to look at other ways of doing it.
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't have you present at that meeting. It's a client that demands quite a bit of privacy. But I don't understand why somebody would be interested in this.
Okay, so just um, uh, I fully understand the need for privacy. I am a priest after all. Confessional can be very um, private. Well, allow me to leave you one of my cards should you have any information that may help us find out who's causing problems in the city. And I hand her a business card.
She takes it. Sure. Um, does this mean you also provide like bodyguarding service, or I'm a little confused.
I am quite capable of handling myself if you should need a bodyguard. I'm also easy to talk to. Um, a sounding board if you want to talk thoughts through or anything like that.
Well, I'm not sure that I could take you up on a sounding board offer. I understand that the Anarchs and the Camarilla aren't at odds, but I also am not sure that we want to share all of our information with you.
Of course, it takes a long
Maybe
time.
one issue I've had is the trains getting up there. I've got to transfer a few trains. If you know of any good drivers that aren't ridiculously expensive, that would be helpful.
Ah, well, allow me. When would I need to have a driver available for you so that I can set it up? I'm sure I can, through my contacts, get you a capable driver that's not going to cost you an arm or a leg.
We meet at usually at 9 a.m. on the second Friday of each month.
And would the car pick you up here or elsewhere?
Yes, here.
Very good. Well, then I will go and reach out to my contacts to see if I can't get a driver suitable for your needs. And I want to thank you for allowing us to meet you. I have only been to the zoo once, and I did not realize that so many wonderful things happen in here at night.
Well, I thought it would be good to put it to a little more use, and the animals maybe get lonely during the night. It's a little less so with some of us prowling about.
I agree.
Well, I don't want to delay or be a burden on your evening any further, my lady. If I may take my leave.
I
Well,
assume you can see yourselves out?
We can indeed. We thank you for your time.
Roger will open the gate as you approach and close it up behind you. Keep in mind that you are under watch the whole way through. Please don't disturb the animals.
of course. Oh, one other thing. Do you prefer that we come in person before your established meeting to let you know I have a driver? How do you want us to let you know that I've acquired a driver?
Ah, right. I forgot you don't have my information. And she passes you a card.
I put it in my breast pocket of my jacket. I shall be in touch at the soonest.
Very well. Have a good night.
I nod politely to her and start walking.
I walk out with him after giving her a nod.
I
And
presume that you guys exit without making trouble.
absolutely. I do.
Absolutely.
So, as you guys get about a block away from the zoo, you see Jessica and Joseph walk up. Jessica's hair is a little bit out of place, and her skirt looks like it's a little bit wrinkled. Joseph looks as he was before.
Otto called Scraggles to me as we left the zoo.
Oh yeah, that's right. He'll as soon as you come out of the gates, he hops around in a little circle and follows along beside.
Well, I take notice of the lady's appearance. Are you all right? Look like you fell down a hill or something.
Something definitely happened.
Yeah, I just hunted.
Out of character. How well is driving with a one dot? Hello?
I want to say you can, but you wouldn't be very good at it.
Okay. Alright, so I don't know where everyone else went, but out of character, I got a date, time, and a little. I got a date and a time that they have a meeting. I got to check into some context, see if we can find a capable driver to come pick her up from here or at the zoo on that. She preferred not to use the L.
It does appear that way, yes. I didn't notice anything off.
Well, she was in a penguin house. There's fish and the smell of them in there. It might have been hard to tell anyway.
To answer your question, one dot is you are a cautious driver, unlikely to make any mistake.
So, Cappy, I'm going to give you a little hint. She stuttered a lot when trying to give her introduction, and she never mentioned her sire at all to you.
Yeah, she
And
mentioned
it
she was
seems pretty
gangrel.
weird that you've never heard of this lady.
Yeah. Well, let me think a moment. Actually, now that I think about it, she never actually said she was Gangrel. Never said anything about her sire.
I am not familiar with the introductions of the Gangrel.
Should have come with us. We had fun. I had fun.
We
It was fun.
Yeah, I imagine it was. We Gangrel introduce each other. We tell each other our names, clans, sires, any nicknames if we have them.
So
Our
basically, you
generation.
gave her all your information and got nothing back from her.
I introduced myself to see the test if she was Gangrel. I had to do it that way to see if she was to get her response.
Ah, so you are a terrible teacher.
I had to shake my head. Whatever. Anyway, she may be trying to pretend to be Gangrel, but you're right. She may not be Gangrel. She may be kindred, but I don't know what clan. I'm just relieved she's not Gangrel, because you would have kept calling Gangrel at me and you would have had issues. Hmm. Hmm. One of them got a spine. I'm impressed. I might have to meet this person one of these days.
Out of curiosity, are you planning to get them all dog colors?
I give the hell is her name?
Victoria?
I give Jessica a dark look. Say
What?
that
I
again.
have one.
Gangrel don't get collars. Even suggest it, and you might not live past your next moonlight. Are we clear?
I agree. Pink ones are they're pretty.
You can try, but you might not live long.
Can we get back to business?
This isn't business.
No.
No, it's distracting, is what it is.
Anyway,
And as you guys decide to get back to business, we're going to call it for the night.
All right.
okay. I also, before I share that, I have a contact card with her info on it and also the name of the guard at the front gate.
Alrighty.
I put that in chat just for keeping it.
I'll be right back in a minute then.
Okay. I'm gonna say everybody gets 5 XP. Sure.
What?
So you guys can choose to nominate somebody to get an extra point of XP if you liked something that they did. They role played really well. They had a clever solution to something like that. He's into.
Well, the distracted blonde, is it Devil's character is blonde, right?
Yeah, she's blonde.
Okay. The blonde, it was funny with the distraction, the way she talked.
Okay, so Devil, you get an extra point. Cappy, are you nominating anybody or Devil?
Well, I have to admit, I liked Finn going after the dog.
So Ryan, you get an extra. Ryan, do you have a nom?
I thought you'd like that.
I think Cappy stepped away, so I'll have to get his nom next time. So, but each of you then get 6 total. And hopefully next time that we are missing a handful of players, we can continue our story here.
All right. Have a good night.
Oogie says he loves you all.
Hey, Rose.
We love you, viewers.